The visit of Pope Francis brings an unprecedented security challenge. He is coming to New York City at the same time as 170 other world leaders. Police will roll out a massive presence when the Pope arrives. The security operation is based at the Brooklyn Army Terminal. Here's the scene this morning at the terminal. New York Police Commissioner Bill Bratton is there. So is John Miller, Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence and Counterterrorism, and our former senior correspondent. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me begin with this. Obviously, at an event like this, you have heavy security. But are you facing reports of pointed attacks against any of the people, especially the Pope?
No, the good news is that as we're speaking this morning, Charlie, that there are no threats that we're aware of directed against this event or, for that matter, the events down in Washington or Philadelphia.
But, Commissioner, how do you protect someone who believes he has the ultimate guardian angel? And in addition, he likes to get out and shake hands with people spontaneously.
Well, here he's going to have 6,000 additional guardian angels around him. That's the number of officers we'll have on duty. But I'm assuming he's bringing a few of his own, so we'll take all the help we can get.
John, let me ask you about a report this morning that one of the magazines that features a lot of ISIS propaganda has put Pope Francis in there. Does that raise concerns about an attack on him?
That's a concern going in, Nora. Yesterday, we published a joint intelligence product with Philadelphia Police and Washington Metro Police, with Chuck Ramsey in Washington, in Philly, and Kathy Lanier in Washington, that went over the threat picture here with ISIS, Al-Qaeda, the terrorism overlay, but it also went back through every attempt on every pope's life, going back to Ali Ajka in the late 70s, not because we have specific information on a threat, but because we wanted to remind everybody on these details in all three cities about the way these things have happened in the past, the different ways they've been put together. And when you look at, and these are contained in the threat assessment, the threats from groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda, where he's been mentioned in those publications, you have to know in the back of your mind that there's people on the other end of that message who are probably thinking about it.
John, what worries you the most? What's the imponderable fact that you can't necessarily handle?
So I think if you get down to what worries us the most in this situation, in any of these situations, it is that a lot of this now is internet-driven in terms of the threat picture. And that means, you know, if the conspiracy is just between a glowing laptop screen and somebody's dark bedroom and their mind, that's very hard to penetrate from an intelligence standpoint. So the flip side is this layered approach, which is we've got layers and layers and layers of different kinds of security, on the idea that you have to be not just on the intelligence side ready to know if you can, but ready to react if you don't.
I assume it goes without saying you're also backed up by everything the federal government knows and the coordination with the FBI.
FBI, Secret Service. Secret Service is actually the lead agency for providing security for the Pope. We're in support with them, and we're pretty tightly coordinated on this, Charlie, as you might expect. That it's a celebratory event for everybody else. For us, this is a security event, one of the highest level.
Commissioner, have you all been advising security teams in D.C. and Philadelphia?
That's correct. We have people down there. We have been working with them. We've met with Chuck Ramsey from Philadelphia, who was up in my office about a week and a half ago. We had a conference call with Kathy Lanier down in D.C. No, the three cities are closely coordinating with each other. That report that John Miller just talked about was specially prepared so that we, in fact, have a seamless operation between the three cities.
John, can I ask you about the specific report from the Pennsylvania State Police Criminal Intelligence Center sending out a memo that they're concerned that terrorists could pose as first responders? How concerned are you about that?
So we're always concerned about that. That is based on a joint intelligence bulletin from the FBI that came out several days ago. And what that report did is it looked at around the world the number of cases where terrorists have either used ambulances or police equipment. We saw that in Charlie Hebdo in Paris. We saw that in the Belgium plot, where they've either gotten police emergency lighting and used them on their vehicles, or some semblance of police uniforms. And what that says to our people, which is, you know, when you look at these 1,173 police cars laid out here, or the 6,000 police officers, everybody's going to be challenged. You can have a uniform, you can be in a marked auto, but if you come up to a checkpoint, you got to identify yourself with the right credentials, and largely because of what you're talking about.
Commissioner, before we go, wanted to ask you about your one-on-one meeting with James Blake yesterday. In the paper this morning, he's calling it productive. How do you describe it?
Oh, I think that was clearly the case, that he talked about some of his thoughts about what was needed going forward. Mayor and I explained that literally everything that he discussed already is in place or is going to be put in place. We have quite a lot that we've been working on over this past 20 months, and fortunately that there was a very good discussion yesterday, and I think he left satisfied that many of the issues that he had identified were being addressed and are about to be implemented.
He wants a police officer fired. Have you made a decision on that?
That decision is much farther down the line. We have a process in the department, and that process right now is in the hands of the Civilian Complaint Review Board, which will conduct its investigation. And so that investigation is one that we will follow closely. I'll ultimately make final decisions as to discipline, if discipline is necessary in this case.
All right, Commissioner Bill Bratton and Deputy Commissioner John Miller, thank you so much.